I'm Scott Cleveland, Cattle Production Manager here at White Oak Pastures. Been here for going on my 6th year. I've been a country boy at heart pretty much my whole life. I grew up in livestock, but over the past 6 years, I've learned quite a bit of the transitioning of how we raise livestock here versus the commercial way I've always known my whole life. Here we are in this part of the year, coming on to our winter grazing that we had planted in September for after getting off of hay season. Some of the things that I deal with on a daily basis here, getting ready for springtime and that change and transition in weather, is just the growth on my fences, controlling overgrazing, undergrazing, planning out my paddock and my rotation for what's available there. Watching out for grazing that we don't need, such as coffee weed that comes up here. It's very toxic to our cattle, so I have to be careful. Checking my paddocks days in advance to know what forage is there. Here in the next few weeks, we'll bring sheep or goats in and put a fence on each side of my fence and lift my fence for the grazing, for the forage for the goats to take care of. When I first started here, I think we've almost probably doubled in size for like our main winter calving herd. Transitioning the fences for the proper acreage, we like 30-acre paddocks. That seems to work very well for a 24-hour period for us and our cattle. So we did a lot of new fences here, maintaining old fences. One of the problems I had was having to move boxes around and having so many Energizer boxes on farm. I didn't like having to move solar boxes or batteries around. So I came in here when I first started and spent probably the first 2 years in the afternoons rewiring everything and using speed-right kill switches so I could control which way my power went on the farm. I like setting up one box and controlling 10, 15 paddocks just by using our switches. But that controls getting out of this vegetation. I can set up a fence with 2 kill switches so that only my top line's hot and runs it down 2 miles down the road without having to run through the forage that's on the fences. Be prepared for what you don't know. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. If you pre-plan ahead of schedule before you're ever going to be there, you're going to do a better job. Maintaining those 5 basic needs, water being the most important. You either have to have a natural water source or enough pressure to fulfill that. Your animal health and well-being, things that you just have to check every day, whether the cow's off by itself, the herd's health overall, your proper grazing. What grazing do you have? What grazing did you leave behind? What toxic plants might be there? What trees and things are you trying to protect? Also, checking shade for the animals during this time of year. They need proper shade to get under, minerals. These things are just a constant basis that you have to check on every day, all throughout the day. You may have had great water pressure at 7 a.m., but you might not at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that can lead to some long nights.